Oh yeah. Story time again. Woo! The last one for the night, y'all. The last one for the night. Oh yeah, Lady J coming to the mic. Lady J coming to the mic. Today has been such a good day. Woo! There she go, Lady J. I see you, girl. I see you. Send me a request. Woo!
Hi. How are
I play
you?
this song, tell people it's your time.
Oh my gosh, I love that song.
It's your time to shine. Woo!
Love
Girl.
it.
Ah! Oh boy, what a day, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know, we had a powerful day. Today. Oh my goodness. Let me get this music off so we can get going. Welcome once again. I'm Crystal Bodie Smith. Share this live. I'm going to share it out to a couple people too. I'm going to tell you something. My body hurt, girl. I just came from working out, doing some Zumba, so I'm cold. I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm excited. About this. How you been?
Hi, hello, how are you?
I have to definitely do a formal introduction to you, but I have to say, hey, because I know you're different with people that I don't know, but like, oh my God, I really know you. So it's like, man, I ain't seen you in a minute. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just coming in, my name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm your Hope Catalyst and your host tonight. And my guest tonight, we call her Lady J. I mean, this young lady is so phenomenal, man. I mean, her motto is dare to be different, and she's definitely different, guys. I mean, she's an educator in North Carolina. She's on the board of commissioners for the MLK committee. I mean, she's just doing so many amazing things. She's a writer, she's a rapper, she's a community volunteer. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think what you don't do because you are just phenomenal.
I'm not a
I just thank
solo
you.
artist. I'm not a
Oh, and
solo
that's right.
artist.
And a TV host too, and videographer, because you have your own show. You have your
Yes.
own show. So thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna go ahead and take a minute and send this to a couple people. Let them know that we're on here, cause and the young man that was on here earlier, my goodness, he was. If you get a chance, go back and check it out, cause he was really, really something. You
I
know,
will.
he was really amazing. As a writer, I think you would really enjoy him because you're a writer. So
Mhm.
he's a writer,
Oh.
30-year old, and he was amazing. So how you been? How's life treating you?
Oh, I tell you, it's challenging. With this pandemic, it's scary. But if you put God first and you just keep your trust in Him,
Mm.
He'll take you through it. He's taking me through it.
Wow, definitely. So, so I put on the flyer that I wanted to talk, from a standpoint of you being an educator first, because I thought it was interesting as the parents were getting ready to transition back to some kind of normalcy when it comes to their children in school,
Mm-hmm.
to see if we could help parents out by giving them some kind of pointers on if they haven't done it as we're getting close to the third and fourth quarter, those EOGs, getting
Yes.
close to the end of the year, if there's
Yes.
something that they can do maybe to help those children while they're still at home, because it has been a challenge, I'm sure, during
Yes.
COVID-19. How you doing, Joe? Thank you so much. How you doing, Joe? So tell us a little bit. You teach what grade?
Well, I'm certified kindergarten through 12th grade as a media specialist.
Uh-huh.
I'm certified middle school and high school and college. So I have a wide spectrum, and
Oh,
I
wow.
believe it's my love of educating to encourage people to let the light come on and feel confident and take their ownership in their learning. That's what really elevates me and motivates me.
Wow. So I didn't know you went up to college.
Oh yeah, English, English communications. I'm teaching Avid right now. Avid is a college prep course, really designed for kids who have never had anyone in their family to go to college,
Okay.
to prepare them for that. I've been an instructional coach. I just love learning, and I love trying to give it a different kind of twist so that people enjoy their learning, and sometimes they don't even know they're learning. They're having so much
Oh,
fun.
and that's why I said if you get a chance, go back and listen. Because the young man I had earlier, he wrote a book called "The Beauty in Being Wrong,"
Hmm.
and I talked about how I thought that would be so great for children because a lot of times they get chastised and they feel bad about being wrong. But his concept was just amazing. And I said, oh my God, the school children need that information
Hmm.
because it will lift their self-esteem, and
Yes.
then the parents. So, how has it been with pandemic? You are still in the classroom now. You've been in the
Yes.
classroom. And so how has that been? So you kept a small load. I mean, they went from the transition of parents having a choice to stay home or send their children to school. And then you had some parents, that was a challenge because they're not teachers. And some of this stuff in these third and fourth grade, they doing algebra trick. So what would you tell any parents right now as we go into May, get ready to close out the school year,
Hmm.
if their child is still behind and they need some help, what would you offer and suggest to those parents?
Right now, because of the internet, we have so many resources that are free online, web pages. I also tutor in the community as well. But there's so much with the internet that there's
Hmm.
really, if you don't have the internet, people have hotspots, different places that you can go to. There's no excuse. So you have an advantage with the internet. If you can look up the names of songs, or you can look up how to buy any topic, any item that you want, you can find something that your child can read. And I would suggest finding something that they enjoy, and then they're also learning from that. There are different websites that also offer resources with it, like creating a crossword puzzle with words, enhancing the vocabulary. And
And not,
nowadays, on
hmm
the
go ahead.
nowadays, we have Power School. Power School is a thing that we use in the school system where the teachers put the grades in. It's like your grade book that's online, and it stays online. So parents don't have to wait for the progress reports anymore.
Oh,
They can
wow.
log into their child's grades and see what the grades are. And so
Wow.
that's one thing that some parents are not doing, and then they'll ask for the progress report. Well, that's fine too, but sometimes the children don't take those home. So if you get in tune with Power School, you will know every day what your child is or is not doing. So you have to put forth a little more effort, because I could send papers home, the parents say, well, I never got it. Are you checking the book bag? Well, he's too big. What? No, you gotta do what you gotta do if you're gonna be a parent. You don't make up an excuse for your kid. You got to be the parent. That's the
Now,
biggest.
but you know what the challenge is? A lot of grandparents are raising these children too.
Right,
Lady
right.
J, a lot of grandparents, so that's a little bit more challenging.
Well, there are also things in print that they can get if they're not used to the internet. They have lots of items, even in the Dollar Tree. They have some nice, resources. Even if the child is really not where they should be on a reading level where they should be, they could get something that's lower, and then that will build their confidence, and then they'll be able to take on something higher. So
Okay. Okay.
Dollar Tree library, librarians can guide you, your guidance counselors can guide you, your ELA teachers can guide you. But then again, if you have the internet, even your phone, because I would assign something to students and they would say, well, I don't have this, but I used my phone last night. So,
Yeah.
you got to go get it.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something. When COVID-19 first happened, I'll never forget. I don't know if it was a Starbucks or somewhere. I was in a restaurant, and there was a school-age child out in the car in the parking lot, and they were on the computer in the car using the Wi-Fi for the store.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when this had first started. And I said, wow, this is what people are doing. People that
Mm-hmm.
don't have Wi-Fi, they have to find a place to
That's
go.
right.
And the
That's right.
child literally stayed there. And then I was there in the afternoon. So he stayed there when it came time for school to end. Somebody came and picked him up. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, man, this really was an adjustment for a lot of people. It was an adjustment for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. Now you did something creative. That's when your rap career evolved, right? Tell me about that. You became a rapper through like an educational rapper, correct?
Yes. What actually happened was I loved writing poetry. And so incident happened at school and I put it into a poem and somebody said, well, you need to, recite that. And I did. And someone said, why not put it to music? And I did. And then I created a part in it where the audience, the students could participate. I would say a verse, they would say a verse to reiterate what my message was. And that's how it started. So a student said, well, Miss Jeffers is not a rap name. What about Lady J? So that's where that came from. It came from a student. So that's really cool. And people will remember that. So that's where it came from. But then God just pushed me in that direction. And if I was teaching something, I would write a personalized rap about it. And the kids remembered it. And they were like, are you going to record? And I'm like, I wish I knew somebody that would record this, because my whole message is to get them to internalize what they learn and not memorize what they learn. And, we do it too. You hear a commercial and you start singing that commercial and you get it in your head and you go buy that product. So rap has really, really helped me to encourage my students to have good behavior, to remember the themes of messages in the stories, subject verb agreement. I never forget, I went out to Vegas and Hip Hop Parade was out, and came down in the lobby and there was Vinny from Naughty by Nature. And
Wow.
I said, I teach subject verb agreement with your rap. And he kind of looked at me like, oh, what in the world is that? But he smiled and he said, thank you. He asked me to do a couple of verses and I did. And I was really pleased about that.
Wow.
But yeah, I like seeing their faces and their attitudes change when I can
Wow.
make that connection and get them to see that connection as well.
Excellent. Now, I'm going to tell you what I normally do on my show, and you tell me if you're okay with it. I allow people to come in and engage and ask questions, do things. And I see somebody, I don't know if he's one of your followers. Do you know Harry Vincent?
I don't think so.
Well,
Hi,
Harry,
Harry.
Harry wants to come in and say something, Harry. I
Okay.
will allow you to do it and see if he's wants to contribute to the conversation. I don't know if he's a school teacher or whatever, but he put in to make a request. Mr. Harry, could you cut the light on so we can see
Hi,
what,
Harry Vincent.
you know? And so, oh, he must have to come back in again because he put the light on there. But now, what was your first? You said Hip Hop and Naughty by Nature was there. So
Uh,
did they hear you do it, or they just happened to be there? You did it for them.
yes,
How did that go?
Vinny heard me. He asked me to spit a couple of verses, and I did. And so he was like, oh, wow. I said, this is how I teach. I incorporate that into my lessons, and they remember that. Even right now, I wrote a song called Abbott Gotta Have It. Abbott stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. This is the college prep class that I told you about earlier.
Uh-huh.
And now the kids sing it. They sing it. The teachers sing it. I shot a video with it using the people in my school, and I sent it to the Abbott Center in California, and they loved
Wow.
it. They asked me to share it.
Now,
So
how did that go? Can you share it with us? Can you give us a piece, or that one, or the one that you did, the one you did for Naughty by Nature, whichever one you're comfortable with sharing?
I'll try a little bit of Keep in Mind. And keep in mind, I wrote that because that was the first one I wrote. That
Mm-hmm.
was to instill positive behavior, point out the negative behaviors, and instill positive behaviors.
Now, Harry, I see you said the network is bad. No problem. If you have a question or comment, you can put it in. You see that on the bottom of the screen, there's a question box. There's a little question in the box. So put your question or comment in there, and we'll see, and we will definitely address it if your network is bad. We would love to hear what you have to say. Are you a school teacher, or did you have a question? Let us know, and then we can still address you, even though your network is bad. That's the beauty of the internet. We can still help you out. Okay. So yes. Explain again which one that is. This rap that you're going to
Okay.
give us a little bit of?
I just do a little bit. It's called Keep in Mind. And I also perform with Brian Dawson with K97.5 when he has his EOG tour. I've
I
toured
saw
with
that.
him as well.
I saw that.
Okay. I've been around the world in a lot of places. I've seen a lot of people and a lot of faces. My name is Miss Jeffers, but they call me Lady J. I have a few words that I want to say. I want to talk to you about your education. I want to talk to you about the time you're wasting, making bad grades and not paying attention, staying in trouble and going to lunch detention. When you go to school, you break the rules. You think that everything is all about you. No way, that's not the plan. You're here to do the very best that you can. You got to keep in mind my little lesson is given to you as a positive message. I'm not a preacher or politician, just an English teacher that wants you to listen. Now it's time for young people in all of the schools to take a stand against drug abuse. Costs the money that's made. What it is no help, and you're taking a chance to kill yourself.
Wow. I bet that does get them going, boy. And they be trying to rap it with you, huh?
Yeah,
Man,
and
how
I
you doing?
usually
Thank you guys for coming in. You heard her doing her little rap song. We have a rapping school teacher who uses rap to reach her children out there at all levels. That was pretty cool, right? I see you see it.
well,
So
thank
listen,
you.
so do you find that the younger or the older children like it more? Because I'm sure you have some things that even the adults enjoy. And you said the
Yes, I,
teachers.
yes, I do, but I perform for elementary and high school, and they all seem to like it. They get it. You know, they get the message and they keep repeating it. And the teachers have asked me, like when Brian and I were in a school in Durham for the EOG tour, that was the elementary school. And the lady asked me, she said, look, can I get that? Can you give me that? I said, I can't give it to you.
That's why you said you want to
It's
record it.
copyrighted, and I also can I can write customized raps which would have your school name in it and tell me things about your school and your mascot and some of your folks as well. I've been a DJ at basketball games that have also, I can write a song for your basketball team with your players' names in it, their positions. I can do all
Wow.
of it. Yeah.
So if you following her and you listen, hit the follow button if you want a customized rap for your students, then this would be excellent. And so you do this for English, for math, and for any subject. If they tell you what it is they're trying to do, the message they're trying to get across, then you kind of work from there. Is that how it goes?
Yes, I can do that.
Oh my goodness. So
Hmm.
that's just one of the things you do. So you do so many things. You are the commissioner for the Martin Luther King big events that we have here. You've been doing that for 10 years, working with the governors and everything. Let's talk about that for a minute as we get ready to go into what we call the primaries and the voting season and stuff like that. That seems to be something that we might need to hit on for just a second.
Okay.
Talk about how you enjoyed that.
Okay, well, I'm not a commissioner now. A couple of years ago is when I stopped, but I did it for 10 years. I was responsible for about 7 different counties. And what I would do was I would come to their programs and I would set up, forums. I would make presentations about Dr. King. Now, the whole thing to me is treat people right,
Yes, yes,
give people that
yes.
equality, give them the opportunity. And I just wanted to spread his messages of love and diversity and education and knowledge. I thought it was so important. And I was able to raise money with the talent show I created. I wrote a song called Share the Dream.
I remember
And
that.
I call it the Share the Dream Talent Show. And I raised money and I gave it back to organizations that work with children. And I was so excited. I went to the King Center in Atlanta. I visited Dr. King's home. I met his daughter, Bernice. I met his daughter. I did some acting at the National Black Theater Festival. And I met his daughter, Yolanda, when she was living. I've
Wow.
met his cousins. I've sent my information to Congressman John Lewis, who received it. I put him in my video.
Oh, wow.
Um, I just really believe that the world would be a better place if we just all work together.
Yes, I believe that too. Now, now with what we have going on in the world today and with the time to come around again for people to vote, what would be the message that you would want to send to people that don't go and they don't vote and they don't participate in primaries and all those things like that?
I think my focus would be how important your voice is. Your voice makes a difference. Some people think what they say does not make a difference. And think about the generations coming after you. What kind of legacy will you leave for them? And a lot of times we've been through situations where we don't want to go through that again. And another advantage right now, sometimes good and bad, is the media. So it's
Mm,
not hidden anymore. We have our
that's true.
cell phones.
Yes.
We have our televisions. We can
Yes.
see it. We can record it. We have
Yes.
seen it. And
Yes.
so if you think about that, do you
Mm-hmm.
want someone in your family to go through that? You treat people the way you want to be treated. And so I think that it's vital that we remember, I don't like looking at any film about anything bad,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it stirs something up in you to say, what can I do to make a difference?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And then I know that you also not only do you write, but you have a television show now. When did you start doing that? And that's a huge thing because there in Rocky Mount, you're in about 250,000 homes. They're seeing you on Saturdays at 6:30. Talk about that. What is that all about? What is the angle for the show? And if somebody's watching this and they have a talent, I mean, how can they get on the show and things of that nature?
Okay, well, I started Lady J's montage, and I chose the word montage because montage is a little bit of everything. So it's not like geared toward just politics or just cooking. Sometimes it could be the man on the street. Sometimes it could be talking about you, and people want to get to know who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's an opportunity. Hey, I really started out with someone called Larry Pickett.
Uh-huh. I
Larry
remember my
Pickett
nephew.
had,
My
yeah,
nephew.
he had a TV show in Raleigh, and I met him because I asked him to come and speak to my to MC a show at my school. So we started talking. I said, I always wanted to be on TV, and he said, why don't you come join me? So I ended up being a co-host on his show, and I
Wow.
guess I
It
just
lit a
call him
fire.
I call him the man of opportunity because he gave me that opportunity. I had mentioned it to other people, but he actually pushed it forward and made it happen for me. And I'm so grateful. And I still tell him today, he is the man of opportunity. And so from
Wow.
there, I was co-hosting in Rocky Mount with Everett Silver, who is a professional vocalist and pastor. And then I ended up with my own. I took the idea to the TV station and they said, okay. So, but I didn't really know at the time how to do shoot my own videos and edit and all of that. And then this lady named Becky Long, she taught me. She was 80 something years old, but I told her, I
Wow.
said, I can rap, but if I could do my own videos, that'd be bad. She said, I'm going to teach you. And she
Wow.
was a tough teacher,
At
but
86?
80 years old.
Oh
And
my
she taught
goodness.
me how to do it. And it's just been rolling ever since. So I do my own. If I write a song, I can shoot my own videos. And now I'm still interviewing people. I set the camera up, do it myself, and I do all my editing. And so that's where it started. And, a lot of times it's a good thing because people will let me backstage for certain things to get interviews. And I'm very grateful.
Media. Yeah, so it's like a
Mm-hmm.
media pass. That gives you that pass to get into events for other
Mm-hmm.
things. So
But
if this,
the funny part, excuse me, the funny part is um, I always wanted to do it, but that's not what I went to college for. I went to college so I could be a newscaster. And then I found out how much they had to move around. And
yes,
I didn't want to do that.
yes, it's a
So
lot.
this is like living a dream. And
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show because you are multi-talented. I've seen you at events in Raleigh. You're always volunteering. You have such great advice and ideas. And this is what we need. We need this in our communities so that we can help each other and uplift each other.
Yes.
Because if
Yes.
we don't, who will?
Yeah, we have to, and people have to understand. Like, so I just started on Instagram, right? So I do my Instagram now. So what happens is we do these interviews, and I take them, upload them. It goes out into a whole lot of other platforms, and we spread it out because we want people to see it. It'll be in different countries and everything.
Wow.
It's all about making sure we get the word out, like you said, because it's needed. We have to uplift each other, and the positivity is necessary because everybody's eyes is on the internet.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at a device. So if they're going to be looking, we need to give them something to look and listen to that makes sense, something that's productive, something that's going to help them be a better
Mm-hmm.
person. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, it don't all have to be something silly, music,
Yes.
dance. It needs to be some stuff out here that makes sense. So that's what my thing is.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to be watching anyway, let's give them something to look and hear
Yes.
that is going to help them in some form or fashion.
Yes.
And that's the blessing about it. Now, so what do you think is going to be next when you finish and retire in the school system?
Oh man, I got a minute for that. I got a while for that. It's really tough to even get away from it because when you see a light come on, when a kid starts out with a bad attitude or they don't care, and then they turn around and they go from failing to making A's and B's. That's like $1 million lottery ticket to me. Um, it's just a great experience and a challenge, but it makes you greater and stronger. I just really want parents to really step up because right now, I know they have to work. I got it. I
Yes,
get it.
yes,
They have to work.
but they have to listen and pay
They
attention.
have to listen because if I'm with your child in this moment and I have 30 or 20 something other kids in the classroom, I don't have time to pick on your child. I'm trying to tell you exactly what's going on. And then you have some educators who don't call all the time and I'm the only one you hear from. So you think I'm being the bad guy, but I'm not. I'm trying to tell you what is going on so you can help your child. That's the most important thing.
And you know what the sad thing is? I realized I used to teach 2 years and years ago, and I said I could not teach now. I just couldn't do it. I would
It's
not have the patience to do it. I commend y'all. I could not teach now. These children, there's no way I could teach now. And I've
it's
done it
very
from every
it's very
level.
difficult.
It's very difficult. Even
Hmm.
though what you're talking about as far as the challenges, I remember when I went into the schools when I was doing my entertainment and promotions, and I'll never forget, I took the 69 boys. You remember Tootsie Roll? Tootsie Roll?
Oh,
I took
Tootsie
them into
Roll.
the, I took them into the high school, and we were talking to some of the children, and they were just, sharing the knowledge and stuff because that's one of the things I would do. I would take different groups, and they were talking about how the students was saying how the parents wasn't home. They pretty much were raising themselves, and nobody cared whether they were good or bad. And it's really heartbreaking to hear some of these stories. It's heartbreaking to know some kids they go to school to get a meal. Some of them go to school just to get somebody to tell them I love you or pay them attention. It's hard. So I really hope that it gets better eventually because there are some school systems, like I know in Jersey, a young man I know, he started a great program in the schools where they actually had like wash machines in the school. They give the children supplies they need. There are so many needs that come out of sending people to school and then teachers notice this child coming to school every day with dirty clothes. And so he started a whole program based around that.
Wow.
You noticed the children weren't learning, so you started rapping. So
Hmm.
it's people like you guys that get creative, that go the extra mile, that make the difference because those children are so grateful. And I know you've had students to come back and tell you stories and tell you thank you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's real interesting. It's like today, for example, I was going to take something to another teacher, and I walked through a class, and they started saying things to me that I would never ever have thought. Like they took my class last semester. Oh, I miss you, and are you still doing this? And that kind of stuff. And I take those as signals from God because sometimes when you just feel aggravated and you think they're not getting it, they're getting it, but then sometimes they don't want to look that a certain way in front of their friends.
Right,
And
right,
and
right.
that really means a lot. That's my lotto ticket. I just want
Wow,
them to be successful. That's my
wow,
motto. Help children be successful. I got that from a principal I had. Helping
wow,
children be successful. That's the main thing right there.
wow. So what do you think is going to be next for you? You stopped doing the commissioner thing. You cut back on a lot of things. What do you spend the majority of your time doing now when you're not teaching? Is it the radio show?
Well, I mean, I'm doing voiceover works for Power 95, Rocky Mount Toyota. I'm also the spokesperson in their TV commercial.
Okay,
Um,
excellent.
I
Congratulations.
don't know whatever else I can do. I just want to try to see if I can, and then be happy with that.
Yes,
I would love
yes,
to write for a greeting card business.
yes,
I've written 5 children's books. I'm trying to
yes.
get. I've got one published. I'm self-publishing right now, but I would love for someone else to take it over so I can just
So
get the check. Yeah.
I need to send that to Aunt. I have a young lady, she works with authors. I need to tag
Oh
her on this
wow.
and let her hear what you just said because she works with authors and that's what she does. She handles all of
Oh
that stuff.
wow.
So
That would be wonderful.
I just tagged her on this video so she'll come back. I got a lot of people that sometimes come back and do replays and stuff. So I just tagged her on it and she said that. So
Okay.
you have some books that you need some help with the marketing or actually just those books need to be actually published.
Okay, well, I have one that's in print, that's been published, and I was doing self-publishing. I was going to libraries and doing book talks. From that one book, it was called Two Smart Chicks. It was about 2 chicks who wanted to go different places. So I put them in different places where they visited. And in the end, they were sitting on the front porch reading books, and that's how they traveled because they read.
Wow.
So from that book, one lady said I wrote another one called The Word, and it's based on it was a poem. Somebody said, you need to turn this into a book. So it's based on the cliche, a little bird told me. So it's about gossiping about people.
Wow.
And you see birds in the library. You see the 2 men in the office with their ties on. You see them in the elevator. You see the mom at the clothesline with the little kid listening. And then in the end, it says, what if it was about you?
Wow.
They're called something to think about. And then the last one, the third one that I wrote is called Holy Cow, based on the incident at church. You know how your church folks do, and
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
somebody gets mad because the kids like you, and then from there with that book, I was able to put extra resources in there, like a word scramble or a puzzle or a
Wow.
writing prompt. So I
Wow.
was expanding, the activities that you could do
Yes.
with reading, building the
Yes.
vocabulary.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
that's my next thing, getting my books out there even more.
Well, I'm gonna make sure I send this to Angela so she can look at that
Thank
and get in
you.
contact with you so she can help you with that. I know you start your day early in the morning and you have to be in the schools about 6 o'clock. So I'm not gonna keep you out here long. I just wanted to be able to have a chat with you and give some information to the people. And so once again, I want to thank you for just all your insight, everything you do in the community, everything you do in the school systems out there, your enthusiasm, your passion. You're passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's all passion. It's genuine. You know what I'm saying? You
God is
genuinely
good,
care.
honey.
He is
He
all the
gives it to
time.
me
All
all.
the
He
time.
gives it everything to me. I have to give him the honor and the praise, because
Yes.
sometimes I don't even realize it. Uh, I don't realize it. And like a song will come in my head. I told you about the one, last one, the parody. I write parodies too. I wrote one, Bruno Mars's Finesse.
Mm.
It's called Ugly Dress.
Wow.
And
So how did that go? So the parodies. Tell me about that. What is that exactly?
okay, so a parody is when you take a well-known song and you change it and make it funny.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you may
okay.
have heard of Weird Al Yankovic or something, but he
Mhm.
used to do that a lot. But yeah, I do that. I can take a song and change the words to it. Blurred lines became, I told you 20 times, how teachers have to tell students the same thing over and over and over.
Wow.
So yeah, I can
Wow.
do that too.
Okay. Well, that's really good.
But I
Well,
thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so grateful and so honored. And I
yeah.
really
So
appreciate you.
I
And
know
I
you do.
love what you do. Thank
I
you
know
so
what
much.
you. So let me ask you something. If somebody wants to reach out to you, how can they reach you? What platform could they reach you on? What do you have an email or what? How do you prefer for people to reach out to you?
Okay, my email is ladyjideas with an S on the end at yahoo.com. That's the fastest way to get me, because I can put them to work doing something. I can go check my email now. I'm just kidding. No, I check that more often than I do a phone or something like that. I guess because I like to write and I can sit down and I can answer you right then. Even if
And
you want to be on the show, you email me at that address.
so that can be you. Do people come in person or is it virtual? The
Um,
show.
I usually go to people. I go
Oh,
to their environment because a lot of people are more comfortable in their environment. One lady's Mary Clay is having a play, and I went to her beauty shop. She's a salon person, and she had two of her actors there. And then I take it back and I edit it, put the music and the titles. I
okay.
just do it all. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you do that. So okay. Well, we'll talk about that one day. See if there's something coming up that we need to do with that.
Okay.
But let me tell you something. I am so elated. I'm going to make sure my producer gets this out and gets the people out there. So for the school teachers, I salute all you guys. I'm telling you. And for the
Thank
parents,
you.
parents, if you have a child that's having difficulty, now correct me if I'm wrong, Lady J. If a parent has a child that just can't get it, they just can't get understanding from a subject matter. Have you done tutoring like that through song?
Yes, I have.
Wow.
The main thing is the foundation of whatever rule it is or vocabulary. And if you can incorporate that, but I want to give you a website. It's really cool. Any parent, it
Uh-huh.
has it has information for elementary, middle, and high school. It has
Okay.
ACT, SAT. It's called Internet, the number 4,
Uh-huh.
classrooms with an S on the end.com.
Make sure you text that to me because what I'm gonna do is when I share this, I'm gonna share it. It will be on your page too. You'll see a message in your Instagram box to be a collaborator.
Okay.
Except that it'll be on your page and my page. But send me that, and I'll make sure I include it in here so we can let them know any websites, uh, how they can get your books, any of that stuff, so we can get all that
Okay.
stuff done. Let's
Sure.
stay in touch. Let's make sure
Yes.
we do that. I'm going to tell Larry you mentioned him and that you still giving him credit, because a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
times people forget
Oh,
how
no.
they
I
got
can't
their
forget
start. They
him.
forget that first person who opened the door, who gave them the opportunity. So I appreciate that. And I know he will too, because people have to go back and give back and say thank you. So I appreciate that. We
Yes, yes.
appreciate you. We love you. We
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. And we are going to definitely have Angela follow up with you as well in regards to the
Thank
books
you.
because she provides those services. I know two people, so I'll make sure to get that information. That's what it's about, networking, collaborating,
Yes,
and helping one another in different areas. You see what I'm saying?
that's
That's what we
true.
do. Any
Thank
closing
you so
comments? Any
much.
closing
Thank
comments
you.
that you'd like to tell the people?
I just want you all to stay encouraged. And I know it's a difficult time now, but we'll get through it. But now we've had COVID for 2 or 3 years now, and there's a pattern to it. And so we must get into that power school and keep up with our children's information. Make sure your contact information is current. Sometimes we call parents and the numbers have changed, the addresses have changed. We are trying to reach out to you. So we are a team, parents, students, and teachers. We are a team. We cannot do it without you. We need you. Your children need you. So this world will be better because they're educated.
So update your information. If you got a new phone number, if your email changed, if you lose your phone, call the school and give them another contact person in the meantime so they can still reach you for emergencies or for anything. We're
That's
in
right.
this together, parents. You heard what she said. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming
God
through.
bless you.
We'll look for you guys next time on your next episode of Storytime. You've been listening to Lady J, our very own from North Carolina. God bless you. And we'll see you on the next episode of Storytime. Have a blessed one. Bye bye.
Thank you.